Paul Young was a key piece of the puzzle in Jamaica's qualification for the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France. He is the nation's fourth highest goal scorer of all time, and his contribution was critical as the Reggae Boyz qualified for their first World Cup tournament. So, why wasn't he included in the final team that went to the World Cup? Was it because he was outspoken on an issue that many find potentially divisive? Here's his story, as well as the story of many other local-based players.
He's going to try and find the best players to represent Jamaica to go to the World Cup, because he's going to the World Cup to win the World Cup. That's what Simon said. When he said, I'm going to the World Cup with the best Jamaican players to represent Jamaica because he's going to win the World Cup. So he's telling that to a bunch of players, or a group of players who just qualified the team last week. Everybody was silent. Everybody was looking at the next person and say, what am I really say a while ago? So, and then when the room was so silent for about a minute or so, then Simon get up and say, well, if anybody have any questions, I know it's a good time. So I said, Coach, yes, man, I have a question. I said to him, I'm going to repeat exactly what I said to him. I said, Coach, because I know he don't speak English that well, but he understands English. So I said, Coach, if I understand you clearly, you are saying to us players who have been here since 1994, who have made so much sacrifices for this country to get us to the World Cup, you're telling us now that we are not going to the World Cup? And he looked and he said, yes. That's what I'm saying. So same time, Butler get up and said, so Coach, so what if the 22 players that are inside here say we're gonna go to the World Cup? I say, well, you guys can go, but I am not going with you. That's what Simon said in the room. Nobody said anything more. And all the delegates that were there in that meeting, Captain Burrell, Carl Brown, everybody that was the manager, everybody was there. When that meeting was done, the place silent and we leave. So when I go outside, a couple of the English-based players, them said to me, say, why, Paulie, boy, true, you're talking, a full system are talking. I say, yeah, but both of us are not inside there. So the next day I played the game against Trinidad, 2 players were not in, we never dressed for that game there. It was me and Altiman Butler. And from there, I didn't represent Jamaica since then. And I got a call from Carl Brown, Coach Carl Brown, thinking about me or so. I said, we want to take as an alternate. And I said, Coach, no. I said, I deserve more than that.
With less than 2 months until the World Cup, Rennie is recruiting more British-based players. To the local press, they're all guilty of jumping on the bandwagon. On the eve of their game against Wales, and with Walter kicking his heels at home, Rennie plans to try out Darryl Powell, the 7th English player to join the squad. With decision day looming, Rennie is giving QPR's Danny Maddox a chance to stake a claim to a place in the World Cup team. The Jamaican press are again in uproar at the selection of another English player.
Both my parents are Jamaican, and because I was born. But I mean, it says in the Jamaican flag, out of many people become one. You know, so it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, if your parents are Jamaican, then you're Jamaican. I mean, as for the lads coming on board, that's a different thing. I mean, it's not down to me. But I knew there was going to be an invasion. I knew there would be. I mean, people see it as an opportunity, World Cup. But there again, I mean, can they look themselves in the mirror? I mean, are they going to be there after the World Cup? I wouldn't say I'm a little bit bitter and twisted, but I mean, obviously, a little bit upset. I feel a bit sorry for Walter as well. We've worked too hard.
I think the sentiment about the British-based players is split. On the one hand, there are some people who feel, boy, you know, it's a Jamaican team. Why are we having all this foreign import, so to speak? But then on the other hand, there are some people who feel, hey, look, we really want a good chance in France. And so the best team is a team that must go to France. Whether it is a combination of British players and Jamaican-born players, you know, there's always been this thing of feeling sometimes, hey, we're not good enough and anything that comes from abroad is better. And I think that is what is fueling the kind of resentment.
So where do you stand on this issue? Do you think that it is a discussion worth having? Should the best players always represent the Reggae Boyz in key tournaments, regardless of their loyalty? Or should we reward those who were loyal in the trenches? Let's talk in the comment section.